Okay, this is going to be our first video, kind of a trial run. We're going to base it on Rolexes. Just want to show that we are a legitimate business. We have 3 stores here in the Orlando area. This is our main store in Orlando off Kirkman Road. We're going to talk about Rolexes today. And just to kind of show you some of the stuff that we have and what we do. Diamonds, gold, platinum, bracelets, designer pieces, all kinds of cool stuff. Fancy diamonds as well, like yellow diamonds like that one, designer settings, all kinds of different stuff. Coins, like I said, gold coins, silver jewelry, all kinds of different stuff that we do here. It's kind of our silver stuff there, some of it that we have out. It's all available for purchase. We also do Tiffany, things like that. Gucci as well. All kinds of cool stuff. So, one of the most common things that people always ask me is about Rolexes. And I figured, why not do a video to start off with Rolexes? So, we have a couple of different examples here that I want to show you. Some of the things to look for, some of the things that are faked, things like that. Here we have a men's Datejust watch. This is a kind of a run-of-the-mill standard type watch. It's 36 millimeters across, and basically that measurement is done this way, side to side. Does not include this is called the crown here. And Rolexes, the older ones, the crystal was plastic, and then the newer ones are made out of a sapphire crystal, which is a lot more scratch resistant, a lot better. Some of the tricks, well, some of the other things too that designate older ones from newer ones, sometimes they have holes in the side of the case where the bracelet attaches to at the top and the bottom on both sides. That's a sign of an older watch, for sure. Unfortunately, out of the watches that I have, none of them have those. These are all newer styles. So the bezel is another quick way to point out the differences in watches. Like this one here, see how it's got all the ridges? That's called a fluted bezel. And then this one here has a smooth bezel here. Then this one here has got an aftermarket diamond and sapphire bezel. Now the diamonds, when people say, oh, I added that on and it must be worth more, it really isn't. It's kind of like you want to buy a watch that's original as possible, and someone like us, if we're going to buy it and resell it, we're going to try and restore it to original. So if you come in with a all blinged out watch, unfortunately you're going to pay a lot for it, but the value really isn't there on the resale end of it. So this model and serial number is a quick and easy way on how to figure out if it's real or not. I'm going to have to try, I don't have a stand for my phone, so you're going to have to bear with me here as I try and figure out how to do this. Because I want to show you how I pop the band on this watch here. So let's see. Let me just kind of stabilize the phone somehow to be able to film this. Now let's see how this does. So basically what we want to do is we're going to basically pop the band off. It's got a spring-loaded pin in there, and it comes off. I'm going to take off both sides so I can show you. Okay, so this is just called the head of the watch, okay? And on the Rolex, at the 12 o'clock position here, see that? 16233, that is the model number. That tells us exactly what it is. So this is a Rolex men's Datejust 36 millimeter. And now even the fakes have this in them, but the difference, it's going to be hard to, here, let me see if I can do this for you guys. Basically what it is the faked ones are going to be laser engraved and not machine engraved. So I'll try and show you the difference here. Okay. Let's put the magnifier on it. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a fake one to show you, but when you look at it, you can see that a machine did that. So what happens is if it was laser engraved, all of the, basically the entire font would be wider. So all the letters and numbers and everything would be wider and kind of more of a white type of finish because basically it's burning into the stainless steel. So it's a lot easier for someone like me because I do this every single day and I see watches all the time. So now this one here, here's a serial number. Normally I wouldn't show you this, but this is, see how it starts with a P? So the P, when you look it up, that's a 2000 model year. So this watch is from the year 2000. And that's how we know, the age of it. The bracelet also has a couple different areas. They're a little bit more difficult, but again, it's something that when you do it every day, you kind of recognize the difference. Typically, they're going to fake a newer watch, not an older one like this. So that has the older buckle. This here that I'm wearing is a newer buckle. So that's the difference there. And then there's a couple different buckles. I wish I had one of each to show you, but anyway, the other thing is too, is that when you look at the crystal at the base of it at the 6 o'clock position, there should be a small little Rolex symbol. I'm not sure that this one has it because of its age. And if someone ever swapped it out, it's not going to be there. I will show you though on another one. Hold on. So hold on here. Like I said, this is our first video attempt. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it'll be useful for people. So, let's see here. See that Rolex crown right there? Really hard to see, but there it is there. So it's very faint, but that's how you can tell. Now this is a newer watch, and it's engraved on the inside. So all the newer styles come engraved on the inside, and at the 6 o'clock is the serial number. The newer ones are scrambled, so it's not as easy like the older ones where it just starts with a letter. It's all mixed up. Another thing is too is that on the fake ones, on the two tones, one of the things I found is that when you flip it over on the buckle here, this inside area, typically the gold stops as it wraps around. It wouldn't go all the way through like that. So that's another fairly easy way. Another thing is too is that these pins that go through that hold all the links and everything, they should all be stainless. If you see any rust on it, that's a bad sign. So anyway, that's kind of our first video, just a little bit of a tutorial about Rolexes, things like that. Another thing is too is that when we look to purchase them, another thing we try and figure out is how loose is the band. And an easy way to tell is to kind of hold it up, and we hold it by its side like this so we can see if there's any slop in it. This one's obviously still really tight, so that's a good thing. And when it comes to paperwork, there's also, believe it or not, fake papers. Let's see here. Here's like a box that the customer had left with me. He knew it wasn't right. Just little things like the way the Rolex is printed on there. The quality has got to be top notch. Even the coloring of the lanyard there isn't really correct. I'll show you the difference between that and a real one. Here's a real one. So little differences, color and finish of everything. And then this one here, this is just paper thin. Some of them have been thin, but this is just really, really cheap. So another thing is too, is that this paperwork here is fake. Doesn't have any numbers or anything like that on it. So the seal isn't correct either. Cheap papers. Let's see here. Real papers and booklets. Here's what real Rolex papers actually look like. Now again, these are older ones. The newer models come with a plastic card, and the card should not have any type of laminate on it or raised print on it or anything like that. This one here, it says the serial number, the style number, things like that, what it is, and this is basically just a standard thing, like I said, paperwork wise. So the papers are the important part of the Rolex, that's for sure. You want to make sure that if you could buy it with the papers, it adds value. The box, not so big of a deal, but anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks.